Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Hardly Hardcore. I have taken a little bit of time off of this series, because if you remember in the last episode, episode 2, I died already. And that is not a great way to start off the series, so I gave myself one additional redo, and I am going to start that now. I am using absolutely nothing that I had before. My base, which is up there, I am not allowed to touch until the end of the next episode. I can't even go inside of it. I can't take any of the materials from the chest. Look, I just got this seed a couple of seconds ago. I'm even going to throw that out, just so you know. I have absolutely nothing in my inventory whatsoever. I'm not using a single bit of it. We are literally starting from scratch. So here's my thought process. We have a nice little cozy hill over here, and I don't want to go super far away from my old base because I don't want to get lost. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get the first basic parts of this survival experience out of the way, like collecting wood and fish and all that stuff, food, and I think I'm going to settle on this hill. We're going to dig a little tiny house into the side of the hill, almost like a hobbit hole kind of a thing. I know I've done that before, maybe not for a video, but I've done that many times before. But we're going to live in this hillside, and then 2 episodes from now, we will go over back to our original base. And we will continue this series as if nothing ever happened. As far as the dungeon goes, I am not going back there until I have diamond armor. Or at least enchanted iron armor. So from up here, this actually looks like a pretty decent place to live. I mean, hey look, we even got a wolf up here. Maybe we can tame him if we can kill some skeletons and get some bones. Oh, and there's another one! Very cute. So yes, for the time being, I think it would be smart if we cleared out an area up here on the top, and we just kind of turn this into a general little living space. Now I could time-lapse this, however, I don't think any of you really want to watch a whole time-lapse of me just doing the basics. So, we are just going to skip forward to the point in which I am ready to continue. I've been doing a lot of creative stuff, as you saw this thing that I just came out of. I was building a tree trunk kind of thing. For this little base, like I said, I want to make it a little hobbit hole. So I'm experimenting with gradients. Gradients particularly are popular and look cool in the Minecraft community right now. So I have a bed. I just came back from a little mining trip in which I nearly died several times, but I managed to get all of these goodies out of it. And the one thing I'm really low on is food, which is why I've been breeding up some chickens over here. Oh, and now the wolf is down there. But I've been breeding up some chickens so that when the time is right, I can use them for food. And this is not going to be the main area that I get in. I actually dug a tunnel that came down here. It's supposed to look like a very natural cave tunnel, and it comes out right down here at the bottom of the little mountain, right? I think that's pretty cool. The only thing is I have it blocked off for now because I don't want mobs to get in. I don't have this all ready just yet, but I will put some sort of official door there and whatnot. And I didn't realize while I was building this thing, I completely forgot that I probably should have recorded it. But I have some birch logs, and I have a couple more oak logs. Maybe I should go collect some more oak. But I have all of these so that we can start making the gradient. I think if we go 2 blocks taller on the oak... Oh, hey! How you doing? You will be mine. If I go 2 blocks higher on the oak wood, and then I'll start doing it to the birch, and then we'll try and do a gradient of sorts. I also want to put a bunch of stone, just plain stone, on the ground surrounding this. I think that would look pretty cool, make it look more natural and less like a man-made thing. But let's sleep real quick, because the times that I nearly died that I told you about was when I was out at night. I just built this bed just now. Anyways, we now have some iron that we can actually craft some tools with. Finally! There we go, that's more like it. Let me go chop down a couple of oak trees, and then we can continue working on this gradient, in which I will do a brief time-lapse of that. Just realized that as soon as I said I was going to chop down some more oak trees, I immediately started chopping down a birch tree. So ignore that last part. Now, let's do the time-lapse. So, you are probably looking at this right now and saying, alright, that's not terrible, it just looks kind of funny, and the gradient is terrible. Well, that's because I haven't actually applied the gradient yet. Yes, we do have the transition, well, we don't have a transition, but we go from the oak logs right here to the birch logs up here. Now, what I mean by a, oh, what's the word already? I've already forgotten. What I mean by a gradient is that I'm going to be taking my remaining birch logs, and I'm basically going to just, like, go down, kind of like this. I'm going to transition it a lot better. Now, I'm definitely going to have a lot of extra oak planks, but I can turn those into other things and whatnot for later on in the series. One thing that I do think looks a lot better is I don't want this to look like a cake. And it's going to look exactly like a cake if I make it a little too seamless. So by dropping it down all the way like this, I think it does help, especially when we add the rock in later. But I think this should look pretty good for the most part. I have to wait and see what this looks like at the end, because I haven't actually tested this in any sort of other world just yet. So I don't know if it'll look good or if it's just going to look odd. Standing back right now, that looks... Oh, I know what my problem is. I need to add more stripped oak logs. I need to add some more of these guys up here. So something like this. And then like this. Yeah, something like that. I gotta transition it that way as well. And it looks less like a cake, which is what I'm going for. Less of a cake and more of a gradient. So I think this looks pretty good. I'm going to continue this process. I'm not going to time-lapse it, because you're probably not wanting to see time-lapses every single episode, or at least several times every episode. So I'm going to continue this process, and we will regroup when I'm done. And there we have it. I think that is about the best we can do. But I got the gradient done, and I think this actually goes perfectly with what I wanted it to look like. As you can see, it doesn't look like a cake anymore. At least, I don't think it looks like a cake anymore. Because it's pretty spread out throughout the entire thing. You have the oak logs here that go up, and you have the birch logs that come down at the same time. So, both of them really extend a lot, and I think that's exactly what I wanted to go for. And it turned out pretty well. Even from the inside, it actually looks pretty cool. If we come in here, as you can see, looks pretty nice. So what is the plan? Well, originally I was going to build a roof, like an interesting roof on top. And then just recently I'm like, well, what if I turn it into a castle-like thing and build stairs going to the top? And just now I realized that this is not going to be tall enough, and I don't want to make it any taller. So yeah, we're just going to go back to the idea of doing a roof. Out of what? Probably copper. I'd like to stick with the theme of copper, just like we have over at the old base. That is what I think we are going to do. We are going to do something along that line. So I have been smelting this stone over here. I got a new chest and everything. I've been putting all this stuff in here. But I would very much like to use this stone and turn it into more of, I don't know, kind of help the gradient a little more, make it look a little bit more natural. I don't want to make it seem like a natural tree trunk. Like I said, that's not my goal here. Now, if you do see the tunnel at any point, yeah, like right there, yeah, there's nothing I can do about that. But just putting some rocks and stuff around here, I think would definitely make this look a lot better. Just give it that stony kind of look. Would definitely help the vibe a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do. Put stuff like this all around. Maybe even do something like that. I don't know. I don't know how much to put. That's the thing. I'm not used to this natural building sort of thing. I know I've done a little bit of it in seasons of like 3S2 and stuff, but I want to say I'm not that good at it. That's the problem. I'm not super talented when it comes to gradients and things like that. So I think this is okay. I don't know. You let me know down in the comments below. Is this decent, what I have going on here? Is this a decent job, or does this look like a complete and total mess? It's not bad. It's not terrible. I mean, it could definitely be better. Oh, but from an angle like that, That's better. See, I need it more like natural like that. This looks a bit too fake. What if I replace some with cobble? I think I'm just going to experiment with this a little bit. But this is not all that I want to get done today. There is more that I would like to do, including going caving. I nearly died when I went caving last time, and I don't want to do it again. But I figure if I, well, yeah, I was going to time lapse. Ooh, this is perfect. Okay, I'm going to kill this spider. But I need string, because if I can get string from this guy, I can make a fishing rod, and instead of relying on these chickens all the time, I can get fish as well, which isn't as good of a food source, but it's more abundant right now. So, string! I don't know how much string. I think 2, right? Just 2? I think I just need 2 pieces of string. Okay, this is a big moment for us. We're gonna go fishing. And here's my prediction. We're gonna see how lucky I am. If I bring back a salmon, then that means that I am going to thrive in this series. I am never going to die again until I beat the Ender Dragon and stuff. If I catch a cod, then I will say that I will make it pretty far, but not quite make it. And if I just catch a pufferfish, then I'm gonna say that I am going to die next episode. So here we go. Let's see how lucky we are. This is what it comes down to. Any second now. Any second now. Ooh, we got a fish. We got a fish. And it's a salmon. That was my first fish. I promise. Look, no other fish in here. I didn't like throw any fish over here. We got ourselves a salmon. You know what that means? We're beating the dragon. We are beating the dragon. That is the plan. Alright, I think I'm going to keep fishing for a little bit. And after I do that, then I think we're going to do something a little bit more exciting, such as going caving, trying to get some diamonds, or at least some iron gear, because I don't have much iron on me at the moment. Alrighty, it is the next day once again, and I think I'm done fishing. I'm bored. I only caught that and a bowl. I was really bored. But in any case, what I'm going to do now is I want to work on the roof a little bit. I don't remember what I discussed yesterday and what I didn't. But I would very much like to build a roof out of copper, which means I'm going to have to go mining, because currently I do have copper smelting, but it's not nearly going to be enough. So we're going to go out looking for copper in a little time lapse, and I would also like to add decorations to these windows that I just cut out the frames for. So we're going to have 3 windows. I don't want to have a 4th one here. I don't know why. I just don't want to. But 3 windows. They're each going to be very similarly decorated. What I want to do is build the roof of this place and basically decorate all of the windows. And then I think we can call it an episode. Maybe we'll fix this pathway down here too before we finish off the episode. But let's do a quick time lapse of getting some copper. So if you stand back and you look at the inside of the base, now you can see that it looks a lot more decorated, and you're probably a little confused. That's because I did most of this off camera. Like I said, I work a lot better off camera than I do when put on the spot. So I fixed out the floor. We already had the path and whatnot. Now we have some chests. We don't need a ton of storage because I'm not living here permanently. We have this cool little water stream thing right behind our bed. We have some decorations where the windows are. And then if you come outside, you can see the roof. Now, it's not my finest roof ever. In fact, it's actually kind of meh. especially when you're looking at it from down here. It looks better actually from above, like when you pillar up and whatnot. But that is the roof. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not the best. I'll be the first to admit it. I'm hoping that it will look better once all the copper has oxidized. I think it will. And I might have to add some more copper to it as we go throughout our adventure. So as the chickens are multiplying rapidly, we are going to finish up this episode by putting some cut copper stairs up and below each thing. Now I gotta make sure that that looks okay. I think that looks okay, especially when it oxidizes. That'll look pretty cool, and it will tie the whole thing together, I think. So we got to do that again right here and right here. There we go. And then one more time right over here. Now there was a pillager here earlier. I don't know what happened to him. Oh, this might be interesting. Maybe we'll just put one here just to sort of make it seem like it's been destroyed or something. I'm not quite sure. Who knows? We'll just leave it like that for now. But I think that looks pretty good. Now the only thing that we have to do is wait for everything to oxidize before we can officially say that it's complete. And like I said, we can always add more stairs. And actually, since I have 3 more cut copper stairs, I think it would just make sense to go ahead and quickly swap out a few of these. Also, so you can get the idea of what I have been doing, the process of it is pretty much just been this. Yeah, just pillaring up and then going like this, finding a good one to switch out and plopping it in. That's pretty much been what this entire process has consisted of. It's been pretty boring, but I do like seeing how it's been turning out. It's not too bad, I want to say. It's not too bad, but like I said, it could definitely use some improvement. But that is what we are going to leave it as. I actually wish I bumped this out one more. I can always do that in the future. That will take me just a couple of seconds. But it's just those subtle little changes that you won't really see just from a glance back unless you're really paying attention. But I think this build actually looks pretty cool overall. What would you give it on a scale of 1 to 10? I would give it like a 6.5, I'd say. I think the gradient looks really cool. It actually blends in a lot better. It looks like it's weathered, or like the bottom part is wet, like it's been hit by a rainstorm or something like that. And I think it looks pretty nice. But now, we're going to end off the episode, and I think maybe next episode what we will focus on doing is the thing in which I would argue I am the worst at in Minecraft, which is redstone. Maybe we'll make a redstone chicken farm or something like that, to make this more efficient and less tedious and less likely for a wolf to drop in and practically kill me. So, yes, that'll do it for today's episode. Remember, at the end of the next episode, episode 4, I'm officially allowed to go back to my base. So we survived episode 3, we just have to survive one more. So thank you everybody so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time!